A very good morning to all. Today, we are moving on to the 16th chapter, and the name of the chapter is Waste Management. So first, let's discuss about waste. So what is waste? Unwanted or used things that are discarded are termed as waste. So things which are not useful to us or unwanted things. Such things are termed as waste. So every day we discard a few things as waste, right? So household waste are of two kinds, that is solid and liquid. So what is waste? Waste means unwanted or used things that are discarded. So such things we call it as waste. So household solid waste, we can categorize it as two, that is biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So solid waste can be categorized into two, that is biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So today let's discuss about biodegradable waste. So what is biodegradable waste? Waste which decomposes or breaks down naturally. We call it as biodegradable waste. Waste which can be decomposed easily. We call it as biodegradable waste. So what all things are biodegradable waste? So let's take the example of household waste. So household waste are usually the kitchen waste. For example, the vegetable waste, fruit peel, the leftover food, then the fish waste. All these are kitchen waste, which are household waste. All these are biodegradable waste because these waste gets easily decomposed. Another example is paper, which we get from wood. That is a biodegradable waste. The cotton and jute fabrics that we get from plant fibers, they are biodegradable, which means they get easily decomposed in the soil. They are biodegradable. The microorganisms that are present in the soil, for example, the soil bacteria, soil fungi. So these microorganisms, they convert these biodegradable waste into simpler substances. So what are biodegradable waste? Waste which decomposes or breaks down naturally, we call it as biodegradable waste. The next is compost. So compost from biodegradable waste. So what is this compost? How is compost formed? So compost is actually formed when the plant and animal waste gets decomposed through the natural process. So that is how the compost is formed. And what are the benefits of compost? The compost, it is rich in plant nutrient, which helps in the growth of plants. So this compost, it is made from household waste, that is from the household kitchen waste that reduces the waste. So these are the benefits of compost. So how is compost formed? So compost is formed when plant or animal waste, when it decomposes in the natural process. That is how the compost is formed. Now let's see how is compost made. So the first thing we need to do is you can make a pit in the corner of the garden or in an open space. Then that pit, it should measure at least 30 inches deep and 24 inches wide. Then you can collect all biodegradable waste in the pit, that you can dump vegetable waste, fruit peel, leftover food, dry leaves, dry flowers. So you can dump all these household waste into the pit. And every 2 to 3 weeks, what you need to do is, you need to cover the waste with thin layer of soil. Then you need to sprinkle water to keep it moist. Whenever the pit is filled with waste, we need to cover it with a thin layer of soil and we need to sprinkle water to keep it moist. Then make the pit and leave it undisturbed for 3 months. So, but always remember that we need to keep the pit moist. For that we need to sprinkle water once in a while. So here what happens is the microorganisms that are present in the soil, for example, the soil bacteria, the soil fungi, all these microorganisms, they feed on these waste and they convert these biodegradable waste into simpler substances. That is, they convert this into compost, where the soil is rich in nutrients, which can be used for the growth of plants. So this is how the compost is formed. The next is about vermicompost. So what is vermicompost? So vermicompost is made with the help of red worms. So what is this red worms? So red worms are kind of earthworm. After collecting the biodegradable waste into the pit, the red worms, they are introduced in the pit. So these red worms, they feed on the waste and pass the excreta into the compost. So this enriches the compost with plant nutrients. So the microorganisms plays a very important role in decomposing the waste. So that is about the vermicompost. So in this class we discussed about biodegradable waste. So solid waste can be classified as biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So what are biodegradable waste? Waste which can be decomposed by natural process. We call it as biodegradable waste. And then we discussed about compost and we learnt about how is compost made. So I hope the class was clear to you. We'll meet in the next class and we'll discuss the next type of solid waste, that is non-biodegradable waste. So we'll meet in the next class. Till then, thank you.